So, the topic that I chose for my scientific communication challenge is the idea of burning garbage and how it's being used now in society. So, one of my initial questions were what it is and how does it work? So, basically, burning garbage facilities burn items that are not recyclable and also not hazardous. How it works is that this burning garbage creates a lot of heat, which then evaporates water, which turns a turbine, which in turn produces electricity. This brings in the question of how this might be good and how this might be bad. And like many things in life, it has both pros and cons. So, starting with the pros is the idea that the energy that it does produce can be used in various sorts of ways. And at the same time, it seems as though that it's getting rid of trash by burning it. So, in comparison to other methods of creating electricity, it creates the same amount of CO2 as natural gas and half as much as CO2 as coal. As for the cons, the problem is that the emissions from the burning garbage are often quite significant, and sometimes the gases are toxic or potentially toxic and definitely not good for the people living around the neighborhood. At the same time, this creates financial risks for host communities and reduces the idea of needing to make less waste, which is a very central theme in society now, as we have major climate issues. Yet another problem is that because these facilities are not really known or talked about, they often have really old equipment which could potentially cause even more problems for the society. Many countries in the world already have these facilities. Places including Canada, Sweden, and the United States have already started using this kind of energy. Waste to Energy facility in Metro Vancouver has been operating in Burnaby since 1988. It handles about 260,000 tons of garbage per year and has enough power to power 16,000 homes. It recovers about 7,000 tons of metal annually. This facility earns about 8 million from the sale of electricity and 300,000 from the sale of recycled metals. Overall, there are quite a few pros and cons, and basically the idea is that this has to be done properly with the correct equipment and precautions for it to be good and create a positive impact.